record button here. So it says it's preparing to live stream. This gives us a minute to let more people into the room. Okay, this small board button here. So it says it's preparing to live stream. This gives us a minute to let more people into the room. Okay, this small. Sorry, my bad. Let me get myself pinned. Pin. Okay, now you all have privacy. All right. Okay, so I'm going to get the recording started here on the Zoom. Now we're recording on YouTube. Record to the cloud. Welcoming some more people. Okay, let's formally start here. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. The first thing you'll notice for those of you who are regular is that Corey is not with us today. She wrote me late yesterday. She's got the flu, so she can't make it today. So I'm going to run the show by myself this time. And of course, with all of you, most of you are familiar with this. So I don't know if we have any new people, please introduce yourself in the chat and welcome. So let's see here. I want to begin by first, we're going to do this a little bit differently because we have Corey is not feeling well. And really the theme of today and what we know is going on, there's a lot of struggle, a lot of challenge in the field. So we are going to dance in a moment, but I just want to invite us all to take a moment to drop into the heart, to take a few breaths into the heart, to come into loving kindness and compassion for yourself first. For whatever it is you may be going through or not going through at this time. Maybe things are just cruising for you, and that's great. You're holding the lamp and the light for all of us. Just breathing into the heart, dropping into a deeper state of compassion for yourself. Oh, giving yourself permission to land here fully present. Then we're going to take a few breaths and we're going to breathe in loving kindness into the heart. And then we're going to exhale and send love and care to those who are in need right now. So you may want to send some healing energy to Koryanka for us. You may have a loved one in your life who needs some love right now, or just a general emanation into the field, healing love light energy. So breathing in, pulling in the light of the divine into your heart, commingling with your own love, compassion, and care, and exhaling to offer that love to a sister, a friend, a loved one, someone who needs your healing energies right now. Breathing in, exhaling, gifting this love light energy to another or others. And one more, breathing in, sending prayers and energy of loving kindness into the field for the sisters and our sisters and brothers of Earth, for humanity. And we're going to deepen into this practice today. But as always, I like to get us into our body. So I'm going to say a couple things here for any of you who are new. If you are not in a physically able position to dance, you can always take the songs that I share and move in the ways that you can and use your breath to drop into the body. So what we want to do is drop out of the thinking mind and into the energetic presence that comes with embodiment. So the body is but a vehicle, an avatar for the soul. But we have been so conditioned into using our bodies as a machine for the ego mind to think that movement helps us come into embodiment, helps us drop some of the thought processes and really attune our frequency to allow the soul to drop into presence. So that's what we're doing here. Now, the song I'm sharing today is called Ahimsa, which means nonviolence or non-harm, and it's by Alicia Bria, one of my favorite priestess songstresses. I don't know if she considers herself a priestess, but she's certainly a channel of some great divine wisdom at this time. Young, beautiful young woman. And so Ahimsa is about nonviolence in thought, word, and deed. And in these times, as we're going to unpack a little bit before we get into our offering of prayers for humanity today, is most needed at this time for ourselves and for others. So enjoy this, whether you dance, whether you sway in your seat, or whether you breathe deeply and go within and dance in your soul. Let the beautiful words and the beautiful vocals of this beautiful song really move you into your own state of ahimsa, of non-harm for yourself and others.
Ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. Ahimsa, ahimsa, ahimsa. Inside my head, oh, inside my head, inside my head, a war rages on. This world is mad. Oh, this world is mad. This world is mad. Oh, but I still sing a song. You know that I'm still singing a song, because I can feel love coming through the air in the night, and I hear it calling me. I hear love calling me. I'm wondering, I am sad. Oh, I'm wondering, I'm wondering, where is the rainbow? Where is that pot of gold? After the storms I've weathered and the stories I've been told, I'm wondering, oh, I'm wondering, I'm wondering, where is the rainbow? Where is that pot of gold? After the storms I've weathered and the stories that I've been told, hey, inside my heart, oh, inside my heart, inside my heart. Well, I've got hope and despair, and they're dancing together. I can feel love coming through the air in the night, and I hear it calling me. I hear love calling me. I'm wondering, oh, I'm wondering, I'm wondering, where's the rainbow? Where is that pot of gold? That the storms I weathered and the stories I've been told. Now I'm wondering, hey, I'm wondering, I'm wondering, where is the rainbow? Where is that pot of gold? That the storms I weathered and the stories I've been told. Hey, I'm wondering, yeah, I'm wondering, oh, I hear that rainbow. Said I'm wondering, said I'm
As always, thank you for dancing with me. Computer sound. There we go. Okay, have a seat. And let's just take a few breaths together, ground in, really bring the soul into the body, into the heart, breathing into the heart, opening that stargate of the heart, opening that portal that connects us to the cosmic light of divine love, ahimsa, loving kindness. Softening the belly, soften all the small muscles in the face, expanding the breath, opening the heart, exhaling to fill yourself with ahimsa. Let yourself feel connected in the body, connected with Gaia, connected with the divine Mother, Father, God. Let the heart be that place where you connect with both, dropping anchor from the heart down and from the heart up into the heavens, into the cosmos, receiving nourishment for body, mind, and spirit, dancing in the heart. In this now moment, we together open the field of love through our hearts, through our intention, through our dedication to show up month after month for these prayers for humanity in service to the light of the divine awakening on earth, in service to our sisters and brothers who struggle, in service to our own higher selves and our own human selves who struggle through and celebrate through this earth walk. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Again, for those who have showed up late, Koryanka cannot join us today. She is not well. So your prayers for her recovery, she has the flu, are most appreciated. Okay. A few things. I also I wanted to apologize for the late email invites. They were supposed to go out last Thursday and there was some kind of tech hiccup. So I realize our group is a bit smaller than it usually is, but that's okay. We are small, but we are mighty, for we share the love in our hearts and the love of divine energetics, divine love that makes all that we do more expansive, impactful, deep, penetrating, if you will. Okay, so I'm not going to go into a long introduction today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Dawn Del Vecchio, and I have been a priestess for, let's see, my son is 40, so 39 years. And that journey has taken many turns, curves, ups, downs, not always looking like what I do now. But now, and for the past bunch of years, my avocation, my spiritual service, my soul mission, and my business, if you will, all have beautifully combined to be this sacred service as priestess, whether it's doing summits or leading these free events or mentoring women through 13 moons of priestess initiation or some of the many other courses that I've offered. Many of you have journeyed with me through those. My beloved sister Koryanka Cornejo is a priestess of an ancient lineage from Peru, and she also works with women primarily, taking them on medicine journeys, helping them find their leadership, their sacred leadership and empowerment in wherever their earth walk takes them. So we both do similar things and yet different as well. And some of you may not know this, but Corey and I have never met in person, but we have been working together offering prayers for humanity for, I just can't remember, but I want to say it was September of 2021. So we're going on 3 years almost. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get into the content for today. So whenever I prepare the content, I literally just sit and ask for what the theme should be, and usually a phrase comes to me, and then I, receive the unpacking of what that means over the weeks prior between writing it and sending it out and then receive, and then delivering here. So centering ourselves in presence is what I got. And I'm just going to, I'm going to say a few things about that. Some of that you may have read in the emails. And then we're going to go, I'm going to just allow myself to be guided to what needs to be offered, which is often usually the case as well. Okay, so this morning, as I was sharing this call with my private community, the Return of the Priestess private community, I wrote centering ourselves in presence, AKA, which is an acronym for also known as, in at least American lexicon, unhooking from matrix barbs at both personal and collective levels. So now I'm going to roll into what I had written to begin with, and then we'll see how this all weaves together. In May, now June, we didn't have a call because I was in Bali doing a retreat. So in May, we began the process of integrating the new light and new light codes that were coming in through all of the solar activations and the plasmic light that's coming in. So just quickly, our electromagnetic field of the earth is lowering. And of course, mainstream matrix consciousness will tell you, oh no, the sky's falling. Actually, what that's doing is allowing us to absorb more light, more high frequency plasmic energy. And even scientists are now aware of plasma, which is a formless energy. Some say it's the fourth state of water. Some say it's a different state of matter, but it's not matter, but it births matter. And that all the different types of plasma seem to interact with a core plasma, mother plasma that births form. So all of this light from the sun, from the photon belt, which is a plasmic belt, from the plasma, they're like sheets or fields of plasma that are just bombarding and interpenetrating our earth, our bodies, our consciousness. They're all activating us in a new way. And so integrating that new light and the codes, the codes of information that activate our crystalline DNA, that advance our consciousness, so that we remember our our multidimensional selves, become more aware of multidimensional experiences, have more mystical experiences, interact with interdimensional beings, have dreams that are more like we get what they mean. Our skills and abilities from other incarnations may be coming online. All of this is starting to happen. So we received all this stuff, and in May, our intention for Prayers for Humanity was to really integrate some of that light that was coming in so that we could flow with it more. So, okay, so that's what I'm talking about. In May, we began the process of integrating new light and new light codes. As we continue on our planetary ascension journey, we can see the way the light, all that cosmic light I just was talking about, is revealing more layers of distortion, fear, and distress in the collective. So it can be easy to get swept up in one polarizing drama or another. And we see it happening. I know that my position here physically in the United States makes me more aware of the particular dramas going on here. And I know many of us here live in the States, but not all of us. But what I also know is that whether your government, your politics, your commercials, your news media are creating drama, or your community are having polarizing drama or not, the amount of light coming in is triggering deeply buried stuff in everyone, whether you've done inner work or not. This can manifest as dis-ease in the body. This can manifest as frustration, anger, fear. I'm going to go off on a slight tangent here, but I find this really interesting because you all know many of you know I'm a traveler, and I've often used Airbnb. And I just watched a video today of why many people are not using Airbnb, or some people like full-time travelers who were big Airbnb advocates are stepping away because of the scams that are happening by owners, and then they're being backed by Airbnb because there's not so many humans behind the the setup. So people are getting accused, for example, of destroying furnishings or stuff that they didn't do and being charged weeks and months later, hundreds, thousands of dollars by the Airbnb hosts. And to me, when I saw this, I was like, this is typical of an ascension cycle, because people who are very caught up in the 3D matrix are concerned with the very basics of the body. Survival, which means money stuff and health stuff, relationship, and how we look to other people physically and how people perceive us, let's say. So love, health, money are always the things. If you study marketing, you'll know that love, health, and money are the quote unquote triggers you want to pull to get people to buy. So what we're looking at right now is so much light that those who are not inner resource because they've not done shadow work, because they've lived very stressful lives, or just that's just where they are in their consciousness. All of that stuff is coming up, but it's also coming up for those of us who have done a lot of work, the stuff that we haven't gotten to yet. So the light is revealing more layers of distortion, fear, and distress in the collective. Now it's writ quite large in the American commercial news and political situation. And it can be triggering for those. And the invitation is constantly for you to polarize and take a side. Whether that's something going on in your local community, something going on, let's say the Airbnb thing. I could totally have taken a side and be like, what? How dare they? I'm not using Airbnb anymore, which actually I'm kind of leaning that way, but not from a place of that taking a side. The matrix wants to keep you in the matrix. It's a frequency of consciousness. And that means taking a side. And even though sometimes we may feel very righteous in that, what happens is if we tune deeply into our own energetics, when we take a side, we actually lower our frequency. When we get polarized into one side of an argument, it by definition means we are opposing the other side. We want to rise up, and many of you have heard me say this many times, either root to rise or go vertical, right? Get above the battlefield of right and wrong into the higher frequency of, right, I am here to anchor light and to witness what's going on as the old matrix breaks down, but a new one, a new consciousness is birthing at the same time. So we want to center ourselves in present moment awareness. If we are facing an invitation from the matrix to take a side, political, social, emotional, family, that's another one. We could say, oh, look, there's another invitation from the matrix for me to take a side and to judge the other side or to be against something. Is this required of me? Or can I stand in the present moment and say, my choice is to root in this present moment, to ground myself in Gaia, to rise my energy and ground myself in divine Mother, Father, God, to remember the light of God that I am deep inside of me. And that, of course, is the invitation that this call is offering all of us, myself included. There's a saying from A Course in Miracles, you teach what you need to learn. So I offer these things always with the humility of knowing that I'm being given these lessons. And in fact, my newsletters lately have been very interesting because I channel a message, I read it, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I get that. Yep. And then I read it when it comes out or when I'm reviewing it before it goes out to my email list, and it lands. It's like, oh, that was my God talking to me. That was my message. So we're all journeying through this sisters and brother process, and it is not always easy because there are many invitations from the matrix to keep you polarized in right and wrong, good and bad, bread and circuses, as my newsletter says that came out today. So it gets swept up one after another, either on the personal level or with bigger events upon the world stage. And that includes, again, health issues. I mean, talk about something that can really pull you into a fear state, and I have a number of dear sister friends, dear sister priestess friends who are dealing with serious health crises right now. And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to come into a place of centering ourselves. Everything else, you may look at the whole outer world or family stuff that's going on or whatever and be like, you know what? I'm really neutral about all that stuff. I have metta, I have ahimsa, I am able to really hold the field. And then something comes up personally. It can be anything. And then that's when where your test is. So remembering that getting swept up in fear states, drama states, judgment states do not serve us. Instead, we center ourselves within the present moment. The only place where we have the real power and the real connection with our loving divine source in order to create the future. The energy we hold now creates the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. The energy we carry today creates our tomorrow. So the tricky thing here too is to recognize that when stuff comes up, we are naturally going to be triggered into states of distress. So for me, for example, Monday, I had like a host of things coming at me and I got really irritable. It's just like irritable, like grumpy. Like if I were a little child, I'd have been like kind of crying and having little tantrums and stuff. Now, I have my tools, so I use my tools, but I couldn't go from that state of irritability into, meditation. I couldn't do it. It was too many steps to take for those of you who are familiar with Esther Hicks' work or even Power versus Force, that body of work. So I had to step my way. So I went to the tree that I call Grandmother Tree here near me, and I sat and I just earthed. So that was step one. And then breathing. So the trick then is to not then beat ourselves up because that's the ego then saying, oh, look, you think you're all that. You think you're all spiritual and now you're going to look at you. You had a crappy day. You suck. So it becomes this double bind. So we recognize, yeah, a lot of light is bombarding us. We're doing the best we can with the tools we have. Sometimes we have opportunities to gather with our sisters and brothers and be lifted by that. Some of us have spiritual teachers we listen to or spiritual practices that help us a lot. And because it's coming hard and fast now, sisters and brothers, it's coming hard and fast. We fall down. We struggle, we crawl along, we scrape our knees, we get boo-boos and we cry. And so that's when it's important that we don't further beat ourselves up and go, oh, bad, you're so bad. Just stay down because you fell down. No, we come back into alignment. So here's a few tools I want to share, and then we're going to drop in a reminder, and this comes from our beloved Jesus and from A Course in Miracles. Nothing bad is happening here. This can be a reminder for us. If we get caught up in some kind of energetic, excuse me, I know I'm always so fidgety when I talk. If we get caught up in an energetic, we can pause and ask ourselves, is something bad immediately happening here? Like if we get upset by something out there in the world. If nothing bad is happening, then you can literally say nothing bad is happening here. You can also tap the collarbone and deep breaths. This supports the central nervous system. Nothing bad is happening here. And then go into the I am statements. I am here. I am peace. Even if you don't believe it in that moment, you can say it because I am are the commands of the universe. I am love. I am ahimsa. And if you can stretch for it, if you start to raise your frequency, I am grateful. Gratitude is, if you can't feel joy, feel gratitude. I read that somewhere. I wish I could credit where I read that. That's not my original. But it's so true. If you can't feel joy, feel gratitude. So you can tap, I am grateful for clean drinking water. I am grateful for this breath right now. I'm grateful for 10 fingers and 10 toes. Whatever it is, go into I ams, go into gratitudes. and reminding ourselves now is all we have. If nothing bad is happening here right now, then there's no need to have our knickers in a twist. If there is something bad happening right now, your body is designed, your body mind vehicle is designed to get you to safety. You don't have to worry about that. It's like the gazelle being chased by the lion. It's going to run when it needs to run, and you will too. Now, if you are focused on things that are not in your imminent space, like watching all the scary shit on the news, and you get into a chronic state of fight or flight, what's going to happen is you're going to start making short-term choices. Because when the gazelle is running from the lion, it's making short-term choices. It's not eating, it's not digesting, it's not nursing its babies, it's not giving birth to babies, it's not pooping, and it's probably not peeing. It's running. And the system that's inviting us to stay in separation, to stay in states of low frequency, is set up to keep us in chronic states of fear rather than presence. And so when we constantly watch that stuff, we start making short-term decisions that may not be in our long-term interest. Those could be dangerous health decisions. Those could be irrational financial decisions. Those could be stressful relationship decisions made in reaction and not in harmony with our divine connection. So using our tools is essential, and remembering that we are the creators of all of this. It is our free will choice what we wish to create, what we wish to give our attention and intention to. Now, acknowledging that there's been tremendous manipulation. And if you read my newsletter this week, or if you're signed up for my Substack channel, you'll see it. It'll come out later today. There's the whole idea of bread and circuses. Give them bread and circuses to distract them. And there was one part of this channeled message that came in from divine. If you had any idea how much time, effort, and money has gone into manipulating consciousness, it would take your breath away. And so it's important that we don't judge our sisters and brothers for choices made in that moment, you know, when having been in chronic states of fear because they're constantly watching the dangerous and everyone's going to die, or the war, or, you know, how bad certain, you know, one political candidate is or the other, whatever, you know, and then going into states of reactionary decision making, helping us, that polarizes us again, coming back to that state of presence, coming back to the I remembrance. Nothing bad is happening here. I am a divine child of God. Now is the only moment I have. Where do I choose to place my attention and intention? Okay, so that was sort of the share piece I wanted to offer. And now we're going to go into centering ourselves in presence. So let me just take a quick look at my notes here and see. Okay. Centering ourselves in presence. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. We're going to go into a group meditation, a group guided experience, taking a few moments to focus on your breath and allowing the breath to center you, to soften the belly, soften all those small muscles in the face. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears and let the spine rise up in a natural state of straightness. Allowing the chin to drop ever so gently so that you're not pushing your neck out. So there's just this beautiful natural curve to the spine, feeling your sits bones balanced. And if you're laying down, again, just making those adjustments so the spine is straight, the body is relaxed, the belly is soft. You could even allow your face to come into a small, slight smile. like the gentle smile of the Buddha, at peace in the present moment. We are centering ourselves in this present moment. And silently receive the words as I bring them through. Say them to yourself, or if it feels good to say it aloud, of course, you're welcome to do that. Breathing in, I am present. I am present. I am here. I am here. I am now. Just feel that. It doesn't make sense to the logical mind, and yet I am this now moment. Yes. I am here now. I am present. And again, silently or loud, following me, I choose now. Breathing in, I choose love. I choose presence. I choose peace. I choose ahimsa. I choose love. And feel how these commands, these choices have taken you into a deeper state of presence now. And just note the frequency you hold when you choose peace, presence, non-harm. This is the medicine that humanity needs right now. The remembrance that in any now moment we are at choice. And we know that many, 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 many of our sisters and brothers do not have the luxury of such awareness. And so we serve the collective by holding this frequency as much and as often as possible. If we do nothing else but breathe and say, I am love, and allow ourselves to come into harmonic resonance with that frequency, we gift all of life. Our capacity to center ourselves in presence is needed now more than ever for our own ability to walk through these times with equanimity, ahimsa, and loving kindness, metta, as well as our capacity to hold the field for our sisters and brothers who do not have the luxury of these moments of peace. And the more we stay in these spaces of peace, presence, commanding with the I am, our capacity to center ourselves here, the more obvious it is when we fall into the disharmony and distortion of the invitations of the matrix. And so sit in this now, and with the breath, breathing in peace, breathe out, emanate that into the field around you, trusting and knowing that your intention makes it so. Whatever else is happening in your personal life, know that this is available to you, breathing in peace. Extending it on the exhale into the field to send ripples and waves of peace, a soothing balm into the room around you, your loved ones, your home. Breathing in peace. Breathing out ripples and waves of the still point frequency, centered in presence now. And I'm going to offer now an affirmation for you to receive, to repeat if you'd like. I allow my highest timeline to unfold through my presence in peace now. Breathe in peace. Exhale it into the field. Breathe in the frequency of love that you are. Breathe it out into the field. I'll repeat this again. Breathing at a pace that's right for you. Receive this. Repeat it if it serves you. I allow my highest timeline to unfold through my presence in peace now. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Take in this energy. Gift yourself, every cell in your body, with this love, this shared present moment centeredness. Let the field within and around you be elevated, anchored, centered in the light of your own divinity, that you walk in this world and be yet not of it. Sealing that in the heart, place your hands on your heart if it feels right to do so. Deep breath. Exhale. When you're ready, coming back into the room and your bodies. If you were drifting out there a bit, go ahead, wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll the shoulders, just really activating the flow of blood, the flow of energy through the body. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. And welcome back. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. Mm. As always, feel free to use any of these practices anytime you're feeling the invitations from the matrix to take you elsewhere. And if anything's come up for you and you'd like to type it in the chat, go ahead and do so. I'm going to just read through some things here and see if there's anything to share. We have people coming in from all over Florida, New Jersey, Canada, Slovenia. Welcome. Yasmina from Slovenia, Spain, of course, Angela, Illinois, Alberta. Welcome, Cheryl. Michelle, also from Canada, from Edmonton. Lovely. Gila from London. Steve and Janet. Oh, I didn't realize you came from London. Steve and Janet, great to have you here. More Canada, Maryland, Rosemary from Maryland, UK, Madison, Wisconsin, welcome. Scotland, Colorado here, my neighbor, Laura, welcome. Oregon, Los Angeles, yay, so many of you. Thank you for joining us. So I want to read a few comments here, and then we'll see if anyone else has anything to share in the comments, and then I have a few things to share to wrap us up for today. Okay, so Selena says, some of us have known from the very inception of such things like Airbnb was going to raise the cost of living, gentrify neighborhoods, making housing in Hawaii even more unaffordable, and many other places. Yeah, we had, for those of you who came late, we were talking about, I used Airbnb as an example of energetics and how they get distorted in all kinds of ways with all the light that's coming in when people don't integrate the light and do shadow work, etc. So, and end up being, as it is, a capitalist land grab. Yeah, and yeah. So Gila says, so true. I love every moment that creates the next, trying to think, speak, and act positive despite life. Yes. So that is the, this moment now creates the next. This day's energy now creates the next. When we fall down because we're dealing with heavy stuff, we pick ourselves back up and don't beat ourselves up, because that just creates another opportunity to beat ourselves up. We lovingly accept who we are and what we are and keep going. Cynthia says, I'm getting messages on the screen that your bandwidth is low. Oh, okay. I hope I haven't hiccuped. Hopefully the recording, I think the recording catches it anyway. So Gila says, thank you for this. JT says, thank you, Dawn. As always, enjoy the prayers for humanity as well as your newsletter. Always lots of gems. Thank you. Tuning in from Flower Mound, Texas. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. JT. So, okay. Thank you, sisters and brothers, for being here with us today, or with me, with all of us. Okay, so I have a few announcements to share with you, and then we'll wrap up for today. For those of you who love to read, please consider my free subscription to Substack. And I'm just going to put that in the chat here. Yep, group chat. And it's just, you go to substack.com/the @ priestess. So it should be pretty easy to remember if you're watching on YouTube, or you watch this later on YouTube. So if you're interested, and you could always sign up for my newsletter, go to my website, dawndelvecchio.com, sign up for the newsletter. You can get my stuff that way too. If you are interested in a Thailand beach retreat, many of you know that Thailand is my second home. I have been looking for a number of years for the right retreat center, having been dismayed at the previous one. And so February 24th through March 3rd, March 2nd is the last full day. We are having a beautiful retreat there. You can let my assistant Lorree know, who's here, I think, with us today. Write to support@dawndelvecchio.com. Because what happens with my retreats is I invite my private community first, women who've worked with me, etc. And so I just sent that in there for you, the link. But if you want to be on that list, let me know, so that you can get an invitation early on, because sometimes, like the New Mexico one coming up next month is fill like that. So obviously those long distance ones, they take time. You got to prepare. So I'm announcing it now. JT, I want to read what JT wrote. Slowness remembers, heaviness forgets, softness remembers, hardness forgets, surrender remembers, fear forgets. And that's Mark Nepo, who is I believe, a Buddhist meditation teacher. Thank you for that. And yeah, this really speaks to what I talked about the fight, flight, freeze. If you're making short-term decisions from fear, you're in that heavy, hard fear state. So thank you for that beautiful quote. And a couple other things. We do have our Return to the Priestess community for those of you who are interested in being part of that. The monthly or the annual membership is less than a cup of coffee a day. You get almost 100 live streams and workshops that are recorded, plus 2 live a month. 3 robust training courses are in there now. And all of the previous Return to the Priestess interviews, that's like 90 interviews, plus a marketplace and a beautiful sisterhood. So this is another access point for you. That's an affordable way to stay connected in the community, support my work so that I can continue to do things like this and other free things that I do and other discounted things I do. So those are all ways to, for you to continue to stay connected with me. Next month, Corey and I have not discussed, but we are tentatively planning on doing in August, Prayers for Humanity. I do have a retreat next month, but it's here, so I'm not off on gallivanting or traveling or dealing with jet lag or anything. So we will, of course, send something out as soon as we know for that. I'm going to check one more time for any messages. Steve and Janet say, thank you, Dawn, so much as always. And thank you, Steve and Janet, for showing up consistently every month, every time. Appreciate you staying up for it. I love you both. And Cynthia says, this was lovely, very deep and centering. Thank you, Dawn. Yes, let us stay centered in presence now. More stuff is going to be showing up, more cray-cray in the field. It's okay. It's part of the ascension journey. We can hold the field of love. We can lean into each other, lean into these. You can always go watch the recordings. Lean into the community. Many of you here are in the Return of the Priestess community. Lean into your sister and brother friends who know what's going on and are willing to be above the battlefield. Now is the time we have maybe prepared lifetimes for. So let us lovingly remember ahimsa, non-harm, metta, loving kindness, centering in presence for the greater good of all and for her own peace as stuff comes up for us personally. Cheryl says, may all beings be well, happy, and peaceful. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Blessings to each of you. I look forward to our next gathering or seeing you in one of the community live streams or the other places where we meet. Okay. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Thank you. Much love, everyone. Many blessings.